structure, single room on the bottom, one on top, and it was built by Stephen Backus. In 1700, it was sold to Thomas Leffingwell, one of the other founders of Norwich. And in 1715, he moved his house next to this house, creating the first of the two center hallways. In 1759, 1760 or so, there was a fire, and it did considerable damage. So much so that the original structure that was built in 1675 was then paneled on all four walls. And that gave them some hidden spaces to place things so that the king, what the king's representative couldn't see, he couldn't tax.
Oh.
So there's some really wonderful places that are hidden off to the side.
And I notice inside the beautiful fireplaces, the cook-in fireplaces where you can bake your bread, all of that. It's
We have beehive ovens in both the summer kitchen in the basement. That was moved intact, by the way, in 1959, and also in the colonial kitchen, which at the time of Christopher Leffingwell was a lean-to.
Now tell me a little bit about Christopher. We call this the Christopher Leffingwell home. So what is so important about him?
He was wonderful during the Revolutionary War. He was a man of communications, so all these letters that would come into the community had to go through him. He would receive the information that they were going to be forming some troops, or they were going to be doing exercises or practices, or perhaps they were going to be moving people in for attack. And so because he got all these letters of communication, he knew in advance what provisions they were going to need, whether it would be food, clothing, wool, blankets. He knew that if they were going to be sending troops to, say, Pennsylvania and New Jersey, and they were going to be there over the winter, they would need blankets. And in fact, the women of Norwich gathered together and through Christopher were able to send 500 blankets out to New Jersey to the men in the field back in the days of the Revolutionary War.
Which is why George Washington actually called Connecticut the Provision State, and hence our nickname for that. Thank you, Christopher.
Yeah, isn't that
And
wonderful?
thank you, Beryl.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.